What is going on, guys? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video to talk some New York Jets football, and good news, Aaron Rodgers is on the field throwing. So it was a busy week in Aaron Rodgers' world. We got the report on Monday. TMZ was saying that he is expected to be cleared to play against the Washington Commanders. He kind of disputed that a little bit on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, you got Robert Saleh like, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge to when we get there. But the videos of Aaron Rodgers throwing 13 weeks after tearing his Achilles, can we be excited about this? Like, I understand that us as Jet fans, a lot of times, more often than not, you want to lean towards the negative. And he's not going to come back and play. It's either it's too risky or there's no way. He's not going to actually do it. Or, the Jets, they have to win this game against Miami when they're 8.5-point underdogs. Whatever you want to say or whatever has to happen in order for this to happen, as much as it might be such an outside chance of it happening. Can we not just enjoy Aaron Rodgers fighting his way back to play for the New York Jets and throwing the football 13 weeks after? Like, that is exciting stuff. He has a potential, not a guarantee, but there is actual potential that he could come back and play. It would be not just for him and not just for this team, but what it would do for football in general to show it's not a season-ending injury. There's ways where you can work your way back from it. And again, it's a very, very small, slim % chance of it actually coming through fruition and actually happening. But can we not enjoy Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball on the field with his helmet on? I know we're a ways away before he gets cleared. If he were to get cleared, all that stuff, you got to win. I know all those things. But can we not enjoy it? Can we not, smile and go, hey, that was cool. It was nice to open Twitter today and get a few clips of Aaron Rodgers throwing the football. Can we enjoy it, or do we have to go, well, no, he's not going to actually play, or no, you can't bring him back in, or, oh, but they got to win? And I understand. I really do. I understand all those things, but let's enjoy it. It's cool. It is cool that Aaron Rodgers is on the field throwing the football. As you know, Thursday is also Nathaniel Hackett Day, so we got some quotes from Nathaniel Hackett to share. Some good that I enjoyed reading, and some, this guy, he just says things sometimes, and you're like, I don't really know what you were going for here, but we'll break it down. The first one is this, on the success of the offense from this past week. He says, I think everyone did a great job. Everyone was executing at a high level in the second half. The goal now is to do it for 4 full quarters. It's something that they haven't done yet, right? Like, that was the best half of football that we've seen from the New York Jets all year. And from start to finish, it probably was their best all-around game. Not probably, it was. I'll say it was their best all-around game from start to finish. But we saw for about 2 quarters, Zach Wilson was stellar against the Kansas City Chiefs. We saw for most of the game against Houston Texans, he was stellar, put up really good numbers. It would be great to see you build off of that, not just for Zach, but as the offense as a whole. They were doing a lot of things that I really liked, throwing on early downs. Oh my God, yes, Hackett, you are allowed to do that. And guess what? It opens up the run game. I know you want to run Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook up the middle on 2nd and 10. I know that's your goal. Like, you got to do everything you can to not want to hit that button, right? Or call it in on the play sheet. He's got the play sheet going, right? He's holding it up. Let's pretend here. This is the play sheet. We see him there up in the booth. He's holding it up, and he's like, all right, I want to dial up a 2nd and 10 run so bad, but he needs to not do that. He didn't do it as much in this game against the Houston Texans. And guess what? It worked. It worked. Do it again. Please continue to just do what you did game plan wise in the game against Houston that you are going to now do in this game against the Miami Dolphins. Please. This next quote is a perfect example of why they had success and why they've struggled so much on offense. He goes, you kind of just get a feel for it later in the game. They wanted to commit to stopping the run, and we took advantage of it in the passing game. Like, hello? Have you been watching these games for, 14 weeks now? Most of the time, these defenses are not respecting the Jets' passing attack. They are stacking the box, and they are daring Zach Wilson or Tim Boyle when he came into play to beat them throwing the ball and pushing the ball down the field. They are selling out against the run. But here's what's going to happen. Again, I kind of just said it. But once you take a couple of those chances and beat them over the top, and that Vic Fangio, Miami Dolphins defensive coordinator, you know what he is going to do. He was going to bring pressure. He was going to sell out and try to stop the run. You're going to have to take shots down the field in order to beat him. But once you do that, and once you hit on a couple, then he'll back off. And then you will be able to use Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook a little bit in this game running the football. And maybe you won't average 2.5 yards a carry. Really, really important stuff. Really important stuff. And I hope it's something that changes. This was a great quote, which was one that I'll share right now. He says, "We don't want to motion just to motion." Is there an offense in the league that motions just to like, is Mike McDaniel motioning just to motion, or Kyle Shanahan motioning just to motion? No. I understand he's like, you got to do it with a purpose, but like no one is, like, everyone is motioning for a purpose. It allows you to see if defenses are in man or zone coverage, you know, moving defenders around, creating opportunities for you. And I understand, like, Aaron Rodgers and how he runs the offense, there's not as much motion in it, but you can't call things or do things the same way that you were going to do with Rodgers that you're now going to try to do with Zach Wilson. It doesn't work that way. And I think most of the offenses in the NFL, the successful ones, are using a lot of motion. I understand it's a copycat league, and eventually defenses will catch up and you'll have to adjust. I think it's a useful tool. I think teams should motion more. I'm all for it. And lastly, on Joe Tippmann, it's one of the harder positions to learn on the offensive field based on what we asked the center to do. I give him so much credit. There are growing pains, but you see those things coming a little more natural. Yeah, Joe Tippmann, look, it's been bumpy. There's been some games where he's looked really, really, really good, and then there's been a couple of tougher games. I thought this past week wasn't one of his better games, but like, if you're looking at the entire sample size of how he's played, I think he's going to be a good center for this team for a long time. And I am really excited about that because the Jets, after Nick Mangold retired and he was banged up in 2016, they've struggled to really find that long-term solution. They've had guys bounce around and try to do it. You brought in Connor McGovern, who was a okay stopgap. He wasn't phenomenal. He wasn't terrible. He was okay. He was okay to pretty good starting center for this team. And now you're hoping for a guy who's going to be here for a decade, and you don't have to worry about it. And you still have work to do at tackle, right, on the offensive line, but it would be really nice for this unit if they had a building block piece that you just don't have to worry about and you could plug in, because how many, like, year over year over year, it's a shuffling around the deck chairs of trying to figure out this offensive line. And we're going to get another new starting unit this week because it doesn't look too promising for Max Mitchell or Carter Warren. So Billy Turner, come on down potentially at starting right tackle. Don't know how I feel about that. I don't really love it, but another week, another offensive line unit. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, what your take is on Nathaniel Hackett's comments on Aaron Rodgers throwing the football, all that good stuff. Let me know. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, please. Give the video a thumbs up before you go. I'll catch you next time.